Good evening, everyone. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce our esteemed speaker today. We are incredibly fortunate to have with us Lakshmi Narayana Malineni. He graduated from IIIT Kottayam and is a web application developer with a robust background in cutting edge technologies. He is also skilled in C, Python, Java, and JavaScript. We are excited to hear from him today and gain insights from his experience and knowledge. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Lakshmi Narayana Malineni.
Hello, hello. Yeah, let's do a quick Q&A session about React while I set up my presentation. Let's do a quick Q&A. You can ask your doubts, questions, anything sort of that kind. Meanwhile, I set up the presentation. So, so this is going to be a hands-on session. I suggest you guys to code along with me so that we can build this together. So yeah, take out your VS codes, set up your system, and be ready. So we will be coding together in this session. So you can build the application along with me. So yeah, hope you can see my screen. Um, Let me create the app first. So, yeah. Meanwhile, you can ask any questions, queries regarding React up to now. So this is how you install your chatbot. Basically, I'm in the wrong route because let me take this. So yeah, uh, redirecting to the chatbot and let us start our project. npm start. So yeah. Also, guys, I suggest all of you to code along with me in this session as we are building a chat UI application. So I suggest all you guys to code along with me. So this is our boilerplate. So uh, let's build something. First of all, let's clear the boilerplate which React have given to us. So we emptied the boilerplate and let us set up the Tailwind configuration, Tailwind CSS. Okay. Go to the documentation, just copy paste this command. Just install the node packages for Tailwind CSS. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Okay. Let us create a Tailwind file. Here we have our configuration. Let us add our Tailwind configuration over here. Let us add the script in our index CSS. And we are good to go. Right? Okay. Now let me add some uh, routing over here. Let us say, uh, first of all, we will create the pages first. Let us create a folder name pages. In those, we will be having a home page, home.jsx, and let us create a boilerplate, right? Then let us create a chart page, chart.jsx, and let us create a, what do you say, a sample page. So we have three pages over here. Let us create some boilerplate, and then we have our three pages ready. So let us route these three pages over here. So let us import browser router from React router down. So yeah, browser router. We have our browser router. First of all, we need to install the package npm install React router down. Meanwhile, we will just call the functions over here. We have browser router, we have pages. No, sorry, routes. routes and route. Perfect. So let us nest the routes here. Routes. Oops. Routes. Another routes. And let us import our pages first. Import home page from pages directory, and then we have home. So let us create the route. Route path equals to empty path, and element equals to, we say, home. Let us go close the route, and similarly we will call the chat page as well. Let us declare the chat page. Let us create the path. Uh, let us call the sample page. Sample. Sample. mm, Sample. Sample. Done. Is it running good? Yes. Uh, let us check the routes once, if they are working fine or not. This is the home page. As you can see, this is the home page, and let us hit our route chart. This is our chat page. Let us hit our sample page. This is our sample page. Our routes are working fine. Let us link them. And how to link them? Then again, we have Tailwind CSS components where we can just copy paste our components. Okay, yeah, let us do that. So let us take a navbar for example. So here is the navigation bar. See, we have the code here. We go to the component, convert it into React, and the code is here. You can just copy the code and then create a component. Create a new folder called components, and we can create a file navbar.csx. Let us copy paste the files which we have copied. As you can see, I have just pasted the component. Okay, then how to check it? Let us call the navbar. Let us import them. Import navbar from components slash navbar. Done. Let us call the navbar over here. Navbar. Is it good? Let us see if it is there. So what is the error? Yeah. We need to install these UI elements. Uh, let us install them. Let me copy this UI file, and we will install it by node manager. npm I error file. Done. It's installing. I hope you can see it good. As you can see, yeah, it have installed. Let me see the error again. It has some UI icons error. Let us install it to npm I hero icons, and done. It is being installed. Mm, mm, Done. No error, everything is good. Let us see in our app. It's not looking good because we haven't rebuilt it. Let us stop the server and then rebuild it again. Let us restart the server please again. Let us restart our local host. We are restarting it, and let me close the tailwind components. As you can see, it's loading. Yeah, here is our nav bar. We did nothing. We just copy pasted the component. Uh, let us modify this first. So here is our nav bar. Here is our nav bar, and these are the links for the. These are the links basically. So let me convert it into home, and the link is nothing. Let us set it false. Done. And we have a chart page, right? Let us link chart page over here, and then we have a sample page, right? So let us include a sample page, and we will just remove this. So yeah, so again, mm, yeah, we don't need this button. We'll just remove it, and also we don't need this icon. We'll remove this as well. Let us see how it goes. Yeah, we have our home page, we have our chat page, we have our sample page. As you can see, they are all reflecting over here. This is our chat page, this is our sample page. Here you can add your logo if you want to. So let us okay, leave it like that. Let us take a sample image and make it as a logo. Yeah, okay, okay. For instance, let us take this picture over here. We will just copy the image address, and we will add in place of our logo. Where is our logo? Yeah, here is our logo. We'll just modify this component. As you can see, here is our logo, and we are just modifying it. Let us see if it is done. Yeah, you can see it's not changing. Let us add an anchor tag href2, nothing, and let us paste our image over here. Let us format the document, and if we click on this, it will redirect to home page. We'll click on chart, it will go to chart page. In sample page, yeah, sample page. Let us add some UI to our home page. Uh, Nothing complex. Let's go to our tailwind components and then copy some component. Let me go to the hero section. We have a hero section over here. Then this looks complex. Let's go back. We'll go to the header. Then again, you can choose whatever the component you want. We have a landing page over here. We have stacked components. We have application information, such kind. I'm looking for a simple card. So let us say, for example, we have this. This is a e-commerce component. Okay. This stacked layouts. This is the layout. You can just copy paste the layout if you want to. And these are the logo clouds. Let us add a blog section then. So this is our blog section, right? You can just simply copy paste the component. You can just copy the component and go to the home page. You can just paste the component Don't forget to change the function name to home, and let us see if the home section is ready. Yeah, as you can see, the home section is ready, right? Let us explore more components over here. This is the feature section. You can just add this if you want to. Let us say, for example, I need to add this in our sample page. Copy the code, go to our sample page, paste the code, and don't forget to change the component name as well. You can just change the component over here, sample, and let us navigate to the sample page. If it is, yeah, you can see it reflected over here. And now let us build our chart UI. How to build our chart UI? Let us see. Before that, I want you to know something about called hooks. Like, let us explore some few important hooks that are required for this session. Okay. Yeah. Let's go to the chart page. You can see the chart page is over here, and then let us implement some hooks. Okay. So first of all, let us import the hook. We are importing useState. Then again, what is useState? UseState is a kind of memory, kind of variable, uh, but that has nothing to do with the uh, a JavaScript variable. Then again, how to create that? Done. Uh, let's take let's take the let us create a use state snippet. We have a use state snippet. So this should be our name of the use state. Let us say for example we are using uh, count. Let us redefine the component use state snippet empty count. uh, Let us initialize. So this is the variable and this is the initialization. So what do we initialize with? 0. And yeah, so what is error? No, this should be here. This should not be written over here. My bad. Yeah, and just we just define the use state component, and we will just call it. How do we call it? In a curly brace. Count. Let us see if it is reflecting. Okay, let us increase the size of this. Okay, and then text is set to 10 XL. Again, what is this? This is a tailwind CSS. What do you say? Styling. Let us go. Let us go to the chart. You can see where is this? It is presented over here. You can see the 0. So why it is not increasing? Let me increase the font size. Then again, how to know how to increase the font size in Tailwind? Go to the Tailwind website and get started. Do a quick search for what is the font size, right? So go to the font size section, and there you can see a bunch of code. Let us change it to 9XL. Then again, why did the 10XL didn't work? Because it has something to do with the what do you say measurement, right? So it can't take half of the measurement. For example, in our daily examples, we have 10.5 centimeter, 10.1 centimeter, right? But the tailwind CSS in our CSS measurements, it can't have points or decimals kind of thing. So here you can see our number 0. Now how to change it? You can just have set count. You can just use the set count variable, and whatever the value you enter here, it will change the count value. Let us prove it. let us say we have some number 999, and as you can see, limit the number of events. Okay, okay, this should be present in a condition. Let us uh, let us write a button. Okay, Mm, let us write a button on click. What is the button name? Button name is add, and if we on click this, then it should change it to count should change to say count plus one, right? So if we click on the add button, you can see we have a object added over here, right? So let me clear this first, and let us see how it is done in a function. Like let us create a function over here. Let us create a function called what do you say? Let us create a function normally, and then we have a function named addition, for instance, and then the parameters should be our variable, right? So what we are doing, we are setting the count to set count to what count plus one, right? On click, what we are doing, we are just calling the addition function, right? Let us refresh this, and yeah, here you can see the object is done, right? Eh, yeah, also you can add any color if you want to. Let us say for example we have a color over here. uh, let us say we have a color, and don't worry about the object stating why did it state object or not. These are just object callings, we didn't use the fx much. Let us call it is a much what do you say nicer example to have. Let us initialize it with the value rate, and then let us add a button. Okay, let's add a button over here. What do you say button, and then let us add this rate, and then on click. Okay, let us add on click function, and then write a simple function to which states what do you say set color to something called what do you say brown, right? Let us call this over here, and this is the color. As you can see, initially it is red, and then it became brown. So let me clear this first. Let us add some features called button, and okay, let us add some styling, some kind of style. Okay, let us add some class name red, right? Here we can have red button, it became brown. Then again we initialize, the button became brown. As you can see, this should be text red 100. Let us refresh this. Okay, text rate 200. Let me refresh this. Okay, let us get back to work. Uh, Let me create one more example. Uh, let me introduce one more called use effect. Then again, how to call it use effect. Then again, we have a use effect over here. Let me clear this. Okay, let me implement the button first. So on click, it should reflect what. Let me clear the flower packet. Set, okay, I think we have named it wrong. Let me clear this. Okay, set count plus one. Okay, we haven't entered anything in the button. Okay, let us add. Let me create the button. Let me call the count and done. As you can see, the number is getting added. Yeah. Okay. Then again, we have a another count, right? Let us use the snippet again. Use state. Let us add a what do you say? Square. Okay. Then again, the naming should be small square, right? Let us also initialize it with 0, and then let us add this over here. Let us call this square, right? Just to differentiate them, let us keep them in the division. We are adding them over here, and then we are adding them over here, just to differentiate them. And then yeah, here we go. We are clicking on the count, and then the count number is getting increased, and the square number is not. So how use effect work, right? So use effect work based on the use state memory. So whenever so what functionally does it whenever the number is keeping changing, and also similarly we need to perform the square action, right? Then again, so let us see the sample snippet of how does a use effect snippet do. So this is our function basically, and then this is the dependent component. Let's say it is dependent on count. Let us set it dependency, and then whenever count getting changes, and then we have to set square. What do you say? We have to set the square to count, and it's multiplied. Right? Does it work? Let's see. Done, 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 done. As you can see, the number is getting printed over here, and the square is getting printed over here. Then again, how did it work? So what does the use effect basically do? Use effect basically changes the component on a condition. And then what is the condition? The state of one component is dependent upon the state of another component. So whenever the state of this number is changing, the state of this number is dependent upon the original number. So the both are changing at the same time, even though I added the button functionality only for this number, right? So let us clear this, and then let there are there are more hooks which offer more functionalities, but for now we will use these hooks, and then we will try to build a chatbot UI. Okay, good. Then again, I want you guys to follow along with me from now onwards, at least if you haven't done so. So let us implement the UI. Yeah, there is. Meanwhile, so we'll just import React, and this is our state before, and then we can just function chart, and then we will we will just import the library, use state library, use state import. Okay, import use state from React. Okay, this should be in curly braces. Sorry, state done, and then let's initialize this use state. So we will be getting some messages, right? Let us initiate them as messages, and then let us uh, let us create this as an empty array for now. State is not okay. Sorry, it should be use state, and then let us create input, right? So we will be getting input use state snippet. Let us say input 10, and then we will be handling submit. Let me create the UI first. Then we have a div. So under that we have a header. So we'll be having a header, and then in the header we will be having a called let's say uh, let initialize it as chat, and then under that we will be having a main class. In the main class we will be having a div. In the div we will be in this div we will be having a messages map. This is a default font, ignore that. So under that we will be having a footer, and in this footer, so this is our heading, and this is where the uh, messages getting displayed. These are the messages, and then here we will be taking the input. Clear? Let me go to the chart first. Just a second. Sorry, let me initialize this as a empty. So yeah, so here will be our chart. Here will be our messages, and then here will be our input. So let us style this first, and then we will come to know how it works. So we will style this. We write some tailwind CSS, and then this class name should be sorry, class name. Then again, what does tailwind CSS do? It short forms the main CSS. This is a flex box, and this is a flex call. The screen should be its height of the screen, and then let us add some background color to it. Let us say BG gray 100, and let us add some CSS to our header to class name. Class name is BG blue, BG, let's say blue, BG blue 600. Then again, what are these codes? These are some color codes. You can have 500 or anything kind of that. This is not compulsory. And text is white, just to differentiate them. and then we'll add some padding, and then we'll add a shadow, right? And then there we go. There is our header styling, and here goes our chat styling. Then how does it go? It goes like text large. Let us make it large. Then font will be semi bold. Yeah. Let us see how it goes. Yeah. As you can see, we can have the chart styling over here, and then we will add some. Let us modify the input styling first, and then we will go to the messages. The we will have a form to similar to the ChatGPT asking queries. We will have a form in action to take the input fields, and then we'll add the styling for the footer first. Class name. Oh, let me add the input field. Okay, let me add the input field. So input type equals to text, and then value. Value should be our input file, which we we have declared earlier. Here, here is our input state, and the input state should be in the input value, right? So on change. What does on change do? Similar to on click button, when we type our input over here, that records the change, and then it will update on the down, right? Then again, what to do is, let us say the changing element should be e, and then we will adding that e to our set input value, right? Let us set input, and then e dot target dot value. What does it do? Whenever you change the input field, the element will be added to the input state, right? We will have a placeholder. What does this placeholder do? So you add any input, this will act as a default text, right? Let us add some, what do you say, type anything. Okay, so what does this error do? Okay, we didn't close this. Yeah, please close this. Placeholder will do this thing. Then yeah, so we have our input over here. Let's see if it is reflecting. Yeah, it is reflecting over here, as you can see. Type in it. Let me zoom in. Yeah, you can see our input field. You can type anything. Yeah, so we'll be having a submit button, right? So let me add a submit button over here. This will be a button element, and then this type should be a submit type, and then let us see if it is reflecting or not. Let us add some text. So yeah, you can see the button over here, but it is not styled well. So let us add some raw styling to it. Yeah, class name. So we'll be adding a bg, similar kind of a blue over here, and then we'll be having text white, so we can see the text properly. And then let us see how it. Yeah, still we have some changes. Text white, we export. Let us add some x-axis padding. Let us add some y-axis padding too, and then the style of the button should be rounded. G. So when we let me add a over effect. G, the blue is becoming dark, right? And so yeah, we got our styling for the send button, and then what else? We can have a focus outlined. Focus ping to yeah. So we have our input style, and then we have our chart style. Let us go to the messages, and then we will discuss the functionality part, right? So so we will be having messages in a array format, right? So we will have a map function for array to create elements and append them regularly. So we will use the map function for the array in JavaScript. Then again, how to do it? Let us discuss. So we will be having messages dot map function over here, and then we will be typing it as a message just to represent it, and then we will be having a opening bracket over here. So any of you who are having a hard time to remember this what do you say syntax, for now you can just remember it, later you can learn. Yeah, so what is error over here? Okay, let me nest it in another component. Okay, let me just go ahead and code this. We'll have a division. In the division, we'll have a message dot text. So the division is closed. Is this not closed? Okay, let me add this. Okay, this should be here. This should be placed over here. Right, and then yeah, there we go. We haven't typed anything, right? So let me type something. So doing nothing. See, if I type something and then we are hitting enter button, it literally does nothing. So what is happening over here? So we didn't write any use effect. We are not telling the browser to store our data and then create new elements. How to do that? We'll be adding some functions, and then let us see how to add those functions. And then yeah, let me add the functionality. On submit, what is happening on submit? On submit, it happens nothing. So when I add a function, const and it will submit. So we are just handling the submitted data. And what to do with it? I will represent it with E, and we are just preventing the default what do you say re-render first. We'll be beginning with that, and then if let us add a if section. If dot if the input is changing, this is what it states basically. Then we'll be setting our messages to so our messages is an error, right? So we can just add a messages tag, messages tag, and then so whichever the text is getting input as an input, so we'll be taking that as a text, and then our id, we will be having the id, right? So the id should be our generally the id will be the number of our index. So here we will be adding the date function now, right? So after that the input should be clear. So let us see if it is working well. When it's nothing, right? So let me clear this and then let me add a input file. Input file, the input should be changed. Let me log this first. So we'll be logging the messages. So let me log the input. Let me see what the error. So yeah, we are having the array over here, but the array is not updated. So here is our console, and we are entering their hello, right? So you can see the array says nothing. Hello. There's literally nothing happening. And why is that? Oh, so yeah, we didn't add our functionality to the submit button. So when we enter it, the submit button should change. On our form, we will have we need to add some action, right? So what will be the action on submit? On submit, we need to call the function handle submit. What does this handle submit do? This handle submit will call the function which we have declared earlier. Uh, Let us do some styling to it. Class name equals to X. You can see there is a class name. Yeah. Now let me add something. So let me add hello. So what is happening over here? Still there is nothing happening. Let me add again. Let me add something more. And then the problem here is the array is not getting appended, right? So let me try it again. Let me see what's happening over here. Okay. So here input field. Here we have the message.text. So let me share this just done. So here is our gist. So yeah, this is over here. Here are the basic styling of it. As you can see, let me zoom in a bit. So here is our chart basically, and let me type something, and then yeah, as you can see, so here you can see our messages printed. But when you add new message, the new messages are printing under the hood, but they are not coming up. Then how to add the scroll effect, right? So we'll be uh, changing the scroll effect. Yeah, as you can see, when I refresh this, then down nothing. We'll be having nothing. So let me go to the home page first. So this is how our home page looks, and this is the navigation. So far we have built this. right? So let us say, for example, hello. And when I refresh this, it's gone. It's not storing the data. Also, the scrolling is not done, right? The messages are printing below, and the window will be staying on the top. So how do we work on this? Let us see. So after scroll effect, so we will be having a hook name called useRef. So what does this useRef do? This useRef will remember what are the elements that are being uh, shown in the window first, and then it will do the action to the elements which are not being shown to the window. So how do we call that? So we will call a small const end, right? So we'll be calling it that, and then we will be initializing a end name variable basically. So this will remember the reference. So what is the reference? The reference is our window, and then it will be initialized to null basically, and then we will be adding a use effect. So now the use effect will be coming into uh, place. So let me initialize the snippet. Let me clear this. So here we will be initializing the end and should be in the current. So this will be remembering the current elements, and then this function will be okay. And what is the dependent element for this? The dependent elements are messages, right? So scroll into weave, and then we will be adding the behavior. So what does this behavior do? That's basically nothing, but we are just smoothing our CSS. So behavior will be smooth. So that's what it does. And then what is the error say? Use effect is not defined. So we'll be calling the use effect over here, and then done. So this should do, I guess. So these are the chart. This is the input area. This is the chart area. This is the header area. And then now this should work. Let us test it. Let us say hello. Let us print the numbers 1, 2. Okay, let me refresh it again. Let me implement this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then this didn't take place. And why is that? The reference is there, and then yeah, done. This is under the hood again. Why is that? Let me share this. Okay, okay. So where does it go wrong? Let me check. Use ref end of the message. Okay, let me change this end of message ref. End of message ref message. Let me rename it. End of messages ref. Now it should work now. So we are preventing the default over here, and then we are setting the messages, setting the input. We are just initializing the current, initializing the scroll into view, and the behavior became smooth. And we did call the set messages, and then what we need to do, to just initialize it. So we did call the header area, then it should work. Let's see what is going wrong. So let's see. We, where is the word ref, right? We have used the reference. So yeah, so we will be scrolling the thing over here. We will be having a division called reference division, and then this reference division will be uh, pointing towards the reference value when the window is not being scrolled. Once we will refresh this, and then we will add the numbers again. Charging 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, the chart is scrolling by itself whenever I enter a new value. Let me refresh this again, and let me initialize this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, as you can see, how many hooks we have used? We have used a use state effect over here, and then we have a use reference, and then we have used a use effect. So what does the use effect do? Then again, the uh, use effect basically changing the scroll behavior whenever the messages are getting changed. So the dependent element over here is the messages, and then the scroll effect is being done. So I wanted you guys to know about the how to store this chart in your local storage. So I'll be covering those. So basically, this is our input message, right? So we are just posting the query to the chatbot, but the chatbot is not replying with anything. So where does it come from? So how does the chat GPT work? Whenever you post the query, whenever you say, let's say what is it? So whenever you post this query will go into a chat GPT server. So for as a query, the ChatGPT server will give an appropriate response to that, and the appropriate response will be coming to you in a form of GET request. So whenever the responses arrives, and the responses will be printed over here. So right now we are not handling any API request through our React. So whenever we are ready with the APIs, so our query will be run in the ChatGPT server, and the response will be thrown over here, and the we will parse the response and we will stringify it basically. So the data will be coming from the server. So in the next session, we will be analyzing how the responses are handled through React. Then we should be having our APIs ready by then. Then we will be handling the responses that are generated by the chat. So I guess you have understood the what do you say hooks concept. So these are the pages we have created. So I want you to what do you say? I want you to explore these Tailwind CSS components. Then once again I will show you the URL. These are the components. Then they also offer paid components such as you can see a logged image over here. These are paid components. So you can just ignore that or buy it, or you can just use the free ones. You can just go to the code. You can just copy that, and just you can just paste it into your home page. And also don't forget to rename it. Rename it to your own component, and then you can just see it reflecting over here. Let me go to the home page and done. So yeah, that is for this session now. Do you have any queries? Any queries? Any queries, guys? How to create boilerplate in JSX? Pretty simple. Let me share my screen again. Let me share my screen again. How to create a boilerplate in JSX? That was a question. And let me create another page. Okay, let me create another page. So let me create, well, let's say contact.jsx. So that's how you initialize the page, and then you can uh, first of all you need to have this extension called ES6 snippets. So go to your extension page in VS Code and then install this extension. Then you are able to. Then you can click in. You can type RFCE. Then again, what is this RFCE? React Functional Export Component, and hit enter. There you go. You have the boilerplate ready. Yeah. So hope you can see my screen. So this is our page. Click RFCE, click enter, and then done. You have your boilerplate. You are ready to do anything. So, yeah. Any doubts? Any doubts? Any queries? So the assignment for today's session is so you can just build your own chat bot UI using your own style components and your own hooks. So that is the assignment for today. So you can just work on that. So yeah, that's my time, guys. I think before doing this, we must have touch in front end. So what do you mean in touch? I mean, basics. Yeah, you need to have understanding of basics, like how the fundamental page works, and then you don't need to raw code any styling or HTML. You just need to understand it. So whenever you see a new element, you can't we use class components instead of functional components? Yeah, you can use class components instead of functional components. That's not an issue. So there are certain differences and use cases where you have to be very certain when you use class and functional components. So you will be coming across with that in the next session. So mostly, yeah, there won't be any issue. Yeah. Then again, coming to the touch, I mean, if your fundamentals are good, then I mean you are good to go. You can good to build any website, so that won't be an issue. Get your fundamentals right, and then you are done.